Pokemon's gonna crash. What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? People make no sense, bro. We have one, not even down week. It's just a slow week. The arrow isn't no longer going green, and everybody's freaking out, bro. Like, I've seen 30 different TikToks and 30 YouTube videos about the Pokemon market might be done for. We're gonna slow down. We're gonna crash. We're gonna plateau, bruh. This shows me how many people are brand new to this stuff, bro. Acting like it's always just a green arrow. It's always going to go up. That's the part that really does scare me, is like when we do get to a point where the hype is died down, stuff is way back to normal, what are people going to do when they see red in their collector app for the first time with their cards and their product? They start to see those down arrows, because I know there are plenty of people out there who have well overspent on what they can actually spend on sealed Pokemon cards. Like they've got credit card bills to pay, and they've instead been buying Pokemon cards. What's going to happen when they start to see red, bro? If a market down crash does happen, the frenzy is going to be insane. People are going to be trying to fire sale their stuff to get as much money as possible out of it, because they think the crash is coming and it will never go back up. That's markets for you. It'll go up, it'll go down. And this shows me a lot of people have not been around for a while, because they've only been seeing green, and now we have a slow week. It's not even been like a month. It's a slow week. Some things start to fall because they got pumped up in price. Some things start to fall in price, and we're freaking out. Like Destined Rivals gets pumped up, and now it starts to correct itself a little bit, because clearly it getting bought out is going to drive up the price when there's nothing listed on TCG Player. And then more people start to list, and wow, price magically starts to go back down. It's crazy how things work sometimes. If you're really that fearful of the market that this is actually scaring you, like you're seeing these TikToks and these videos of stuff going down and you're actually scared, you have too much of your money tied up into Pokemon. It shouldn't scare you that much to where you're actually like contemplating, oh, what do I do? What do I do? You got too much invested, bro. Too much invested and not enough in other stuff. Like, bro, if you got all your money invested in Pokemon and you're not, at least stock market just crashed, but not at least diversified into other investments, bro, you got to fix yourself, man. I'm gonna say it straight up how it is. You got to be diversified out here. You can't put all your eggs into one basket. A crash should not scare you if you are looking for a long-term gain. You know, maybe selling Bitcoin at 60,000 was a good idea before it crashed to 20,000. But then it turned into 120,000. So there's going to be downs, there's going to be ups. I think Pokemon's the same exact way. We're in a market where it's just always up, and that's a great thing to see. It seems like everything you buy is just going to go up, but that's not the case. As long as you put your money into smart plays like these. These are one of the smartest plays right now, I think. 14 packs of Prismatic, maybe the best Pokemon set ever to release. Prismatic, 14 packs. It's like $110 right now for one of these. These are clearly going to be $200 plus, and not the long future, bro. Like less than a year probably, depending on how long these are restocked in the Sam's Club. But most of these boxes usually don't go into Sam's Club for that long. Blooming Waters is already gone. You know, maybe there's a little restock here and there, but Blooming Waters is gone. Those are up to 180. It hasn't even been 7 months. So you make smart plays, you don't buy stupid stuff, you'll be all right, even if the market does crash, especially if you're getting stuff at MSRP, because some of this stuff is never crashing to MSRP. I want to bring up another example that I talked about a while ago, is these Lost Origin ETBs. So these got like the biggest reprint you've ever seen at the worst possible time. This is when you could have $80, $90 booster boxes of sets, and these got a massive reprint when nobody was buying them already. So they're like $40 or whatever, and now they're sitting here at $150. And you know when this came out? 3 years ago. It just barely has been 3 years. September 9th of 2022, Lost Origin release. And these were in the worst market conditions, and possibly the biggest reprint ever in the worst market. And here they are now, from 40 to 154. in just 3 years. So considering what the market's at now, I'm not worried at all to see a few things drop in price. What people forget is that this is not normal. These prices on these boxes is not normal in this amount of time. The market's crazy. So if it does drop, it's like, bro, there are people out there, including myself, who bought these in the 90s. It's not normal for them to be 500 or whatever they were getting pushed to. It looks like 476 in, I think this came out 2023. It's not normal for that. So to see it go down a little bit, you can't freak out. I mean, maybe if you are trying to sell at the absolute highest possible, but you hold on to these for some more years and they'll probably be more expensive. I mean, I've also pulled up Unified Minds because that's something that took a dip. Like you're seeing a couple here for 2,600 when before they were in the 3,000s, but there's now some in the upper 2,000s. But this was a set that released, like many of these other sets, it was at this price point at some point. So time fixes a lot of things, especially when it comes to cardboard, is what it seems like. I'm not here to preach that that's always going to go up. I'm actually kind of preaching the opposite here, but freaking out over these drop-offs, man, like this clearly got bought out, 80 items, 100 items sold, got pushed up all the way to 467. We can all agree Destined Rivals should not be 467. Just how many months is that? 4 months after release. We can all agree that. So seeing a downturn and more items coming up, we got another 82 sold right here for 384. It should not bother you at all. You should not freak out at all. I don't know the overreaction. That just tells me how many new people are in this hobby or are now holding product, and you maybe have too much money in because you've been listening to all these people making these videos, and now you have too much money in that you can actually afford to have in investments. If you're freaking out about Destined Rivals going up crazily and then dropping off a little bit. Maybe I'm a Timmy for thinking that, but to me, that's common sense, bro. If this is something that freaks you out, you got too much money in, bro, and you need to rethink your percentages of like how much you have invested versus what you actually need to pay off your mortgage. Paradox Rift, same thing. I mean, look at this graph, bro. Look at this graph. 255, 81 items sell on the 23rd, and it goes to 317. They just bought out every listing that was here. So, of course, it's not going to stay at 325. Now it's pretty much back at like 278. I think there's plenty listed there. 1, 2, 3. There's a few listed in 270s. It gets to 280 quickly, but watching it go down is nothing crazy. Like, it took me a while to figure out what the heck people were even talking about. Like, I have seen literally multiple TikToks and YouTube videos, people talking about the market might be resetting or it's a market correction. Market correction in Pokemon makes no sense because for market correction, they like need to get more product out there. And it's not like they're automatically just randomly throwing in more Paradox Rift booster boxes. So yeah, I don't know what that terminology is all about. But I've been seeing all this stuff and I had to literally look heavily to find some stuff that's down. And it's like, it's so obvious why it's down. It's obvious. Surging Sparks sells pretty good and didn't even really get bought out, but it just got pumped up to 300 because everything else got pumped up. Dude, it's like a herd of sheep right now when it comes to Pokemon, man. One person or maybe a group of people decide to buy something out and then everybody starts to buy it. It's literally like following a herd of sheep. Whatever freaking Team Rocket Joey says, everybody does. Nobody's thinking for themselves right now, is what it seems like. But, I mean, look at this, bro. 97% in 6 months. And we're worried because of this in the past 8 days. That's $11 difference, man. Now, it's not all modern stuff. It has been a little bit of the older Sword and Shield stuff. And these graphs are broken. But these were pushing $900. Now you have sales in the 770s by the looks of it. You know, low 800s. I don't think there's too many listed down there. You got French booster boxes. 770. A lot of 5 for 70, 77. That's not too bad, but there's very few actually listed here. And then they very quickly up to 780. And not long after, about probably 12 booster boxes, they're back to 800. So I don't get this. I mean, Lost Origin, I think, is a good buy if you're one to hold it for a few years. I mean, you buy Lost Origin right now for 770 and you hold it for 3 years, you are easily selling this thing off for 1200. Hopefully that ages well and I can come back and make another video where I tell you guys my predictions that came true, and this is one that came true. It might be well more than 1200. I mean, we saw Evolving Skies go from 700 to 2700 in a year. If Lost Origin does that, that's pretty dang good. All right, Chilling Reign, also another one. It's down literally 1.29%. And this is another one I saw people talking about. It's like, what are we doing? Is Lost Origin even down? Not really. Sitting right here about 2,600. Most recent sale, 2,580. Up 32% last 3 months alone. 6 months, 92% in 1 year. Bro, the 1 year graph is insane on this, man. This time last year, you could buy Evolving Skies for 30 or for 760. The same price that you could buy Lost Origin. Is Lost Origin going to become 2,500 in a year from now? It might. That's part of the risk you take. It'll definitely be worth more than 750 a year from now. But man, I just want to get on here and talk about the Pokemon market crashing, because we're clearly crashing, man. We got Brilliant Stars from 548 to 536. No. The market's correcting itself. Realistically, you shouldn't care about this unless you are literally in it for quick money flip plays. Like, you're buying Blooming Waters right now at 180 and you're hoping to sell it off at 220 and make $40 on it. You should only care about this if that's you. But I wouldn't consider you an investor. I'd consider you a flipper at that point. If you're investing into this, I think you should be investing in Pokemon long term. And you sell off when the time is right. Then might be the time for most of these, but I think Sword and Shield has opportunity for a lot of these boxes to cross 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, like some of these other sets did. And with enough time, they will. So, yeah, main gist of this is, like, don't freak out about the market slowing down, or even if you see some red arrows, man. Give it time. Give it time. And time will fix it. This is another example. I think it was Alpha Investments talked about it. Of, like, when the market was worse, these got the craziest reprint of all time. I mean, you could actually get these still. Last year during Black Friday, they were restocking these at MSRP, and here they are, 150. And this was the help of a crazy market. But still, that just tells you you can't ever really predict things. Like, who could have predicted Lost Origin getting a massive reprint at the worst possible time and it becoming one of the most well-regarded sets of the Sword and Shield era, and ETBs, which were abundant just 3 years ago. So I think long-term is best for Pokemon, because you'll see a lot of things happen. The hype will die, the hype will fall, the hype will come back. But yeah, I just want to come on here and yap, and I want to leave you with a piece of advice. If you want to make some plays right now, OP11 for 160 is solid. I was telling you to buy it all throughout this time here at 130. It's still solid at 160. I think this will be a $200 box. It's going to be in print for a while, so 160 should sit around here for some time. It's up pretty heavily the past month, so it could actually recorrect and end up at a better buying opportunity in the 140s. And then OP12 at $90, bro. This is an instant cop. I already bought several of these, almost an entire case worth. They're 120, a lot selling around here around release. They've been dropping ever since. $90. This is a pretty good set. It's not the best One Piece set ever, but for $90, it'll be up here. It'll be one of these nice plays for One Piece. So there's my One Piece wisdom, and there's my wisdom of the market crash. So I'll see you guys next week in another video.